Is it possible to double your courage instantly? That's the focus of this video. In fact, it actually could be much more than double. You could 5 or 10x your courage instantly by applying what I'm going to share here. Super excited to share this with you. And if you want to go further, make sure that you click down below to subscribe and turn on the little bell notifications to get more of these videos, because these videos will help you radically increase your confidence in any area of your life. And you know that courage is a huge part of confidence. In fact, they go hand in hand, right? And if you are more confident, you're more courageous. You want to go try things, do things, take risks, put yourself out there, speak up more freely, and even just have the courage to be you. And sometimes that's the greatest act of courage, and it can be very scary to be yourself in a social situation, with family, with a lover, or in dating, or even in a workplace situation, to be more authentic. So courage is going to not only open up doors for you, but it also leads to more confidence. The more bold action you take, the more risks you take, the more you start to develop a healthy sense of confidence. So how do we increase courage? And that's often a question I get from clients that I work with in my mastermind and other group programs. It's like, okay, I want to go do this stuff. I read your book. I want to put myself out there more. It's hard. It's scary. In the moment, I'm going to go do the action and then I don't want to, or I find myself, someone gets upset with me and I instantly fall back into my old people-pleasing ways, and I just don't know how to take control of this. I want to be able to do it more. So I summarize it for them. I say, okay, so you want to insert action here, whatever that is for you, but you feel scared. And so in the past, you would not do it if you're scared, and now you want to be able to do it even though you're scared. And that's what courage is, right? I mean, if there's no fear, then there's no courage. So there's the fear, and the fear seems this big, and we need the courage to go over that, right? How do we get the courage, right? It's the chicken or the egg. Well, if you do it more, you'll get more courage. Yeah, but I don't want to do it. It's scary. So here is the answer. Here's what can double your courage today. You ready? The answer is the right incentive. Let me explain. So we have 2 little kids. They're 5 and 7. And like a lot of little kids, they're scared of places inside the house, right? Did you have that when you were a kid? I was scared of under my bed. I was scared of the closet. I was scared of downstairs. I was scared of the garage. Don't go in the garage. It's freaky. There's spiders in there. I was scared to go be outside at night, right? A lot of the dark and night places can scare a lot of kids. The classic, like, there's a monster under my bed, or there's a monster in my closet. And so I was talking with my wife, because our kids were like afraid to go upstairs to get their clothes or whatever, afraid to go down to the basement to get something out of the freezer down there. And it was kind of limiting them. And we said, I wonder what we can do to help them. And I was like, well, they can earn points by doing the stuff that scares them. And then those points unlock things. And I was like, yeah, we can call them bravery points. So we introduced this idea to the kids. We're like, okay, and if you do this thing, if you go downstairs by yourself, that's 2 bravery points. If you go upstairs, that's 3 bravery points. Blah blah blah, right? And and it was like, well, what do we get for our bravery points? What's the payoff? I was like, well, we don't know. We'll figure that out, because we didn't have an idea yet. We just sort of rolled out the idea prematurely, and that very same day, they said, how many points do I get? I was like, well, you get 3 points if you go downstairs and, get the bowls out of the freezer or whatever. And runs downstairs, gets the bowls, and comes back. Now, a day before, it would have been like, I'm scared to go downstairs. I can't do it. And sometimes they'll still say they're scared, but we can have it. What are you afraid of? And, and maybe this is an opportunity to build courage. And they get it. Now, the first thing they unlocked was a movie in the theater. Theaters are back open here. Some of them. And so we hadn't been to a movie in the theater in like a long time. So I was like, hey, let's go to a movie in the theater. And it was one of those restaurant theaters, so they could get like a burger and watch the movie. Totally decadent America. I love it. Anyway, what's the next thing? Well, if they get 500 bravery points, that's a lot of bravery points, then they get to go to this Oaks Park. It's like a little carnival theme parky thing in town. Right? So what does that have to do with you? Well, here's the thing. If you don't have a strong enough why, if you don't have a strong enough reason, then you're not going to access the courage. It's got to be worth it. That's why I always say, do what scares you in the service of something greater. And then do what scares you until fear has no power to stop you. So many of us are waiting for the fear to go down or go away, and then I'll do it. That's not courage. That's not how it works. That's like saying I'm going to wait for the marathon to get easier before I go do it. It's like the marathon's the same. It's 26 miles. It's, are you going to get stronger? Are you going to train? Now, why would I want to train? Why do I want to do this thing? Well, you got to have a strong enough reason. It's got to mean something to you. So what would more courage unlock? What is your, movie theater prize or your, amusement park rides? That's what a 5 and a 7-year-old want. What do you want? For me, what helped me access courage when it came to dating and relationship is I hungered for a beautiful connection. I was sick and tired of being lonely and self-critical and feeling inferior. And I remember I had this vision of I want to wake up in bed with this beautiful woman next to me. And I had just this sense of I want it to be like a sunny morning and the light comes through the window and we're on these white sheets and we've just been naked in bed together. And we just wake up the next morning and it just feels so, it's sensual and beautiful and connected. And it's with someone I really care about too. That's what I wanted. And that was the why. That was the reason. That was the incentive. This is what I want. I want this connection. So that's got to be something that you want badly enough that's meaningful for you, not for anyone else. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, but you want it. Now and if you focus on that, that's going to start to increase your courage instantly. It's going to give you more power and capacity to go act on it. And then you get into motion. And that's what happened with our boys. They started to do more of these things, and all of a sudden, within 2 or 3 days, they were going to different parts of the house with not much issue. Now, we're still growing, we're still working on it. There's other bravery things, but it can accelerate rapidly. So find that why for you. Connect with it, see it, sense it, feel it. Let it energize you, and then you're going to have the power needed to go take on the thing that scares you. Sound good? So what is it for you? What is your why, and what are the things you're going to do? And remember, it's not going to get easier. You can't keep waiting. You got to do it today, tomorrow, this week. And that's how you're going to go quickly in your courage. All right, thanks for being with me. Share down below in the comments what you're learning, questions you have. And until we speak again, may you have the courage to be who you are and to know on a deep level that you're awesome.